Hello, my name's Matt. I run Car Free Tucson on Instagram and on YouTube where you're watching this now. Tonight I thought we'd have a little informal get together where I can talk about Transit app, and you can ask any questions you have. I've been riding with Transit app in Tucson and other cities around the country for about 3 years now. Um, so one of the first things we want to do is if you haven't downloaded Transit app already, you can do so by looking it up in the Apple Store, the Android shop, or if you go directly to their website, transitapp.com /download, it'll take you to your preferred store right away. Or if you go straight to the website like I did here, you can click here and get the QR code or get the Apple Google links. So I'm going to switch over to the phone real quick here. Okay, so I went ahead, I have a burner phone here, brand new information. We're going to do install straight from the very beginning. Go ahead and install that there. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. You do need to be a subscriber for at least 1 minute before you can comment. Please comment as I talk. I don't like talking at people, which is basically what I'm going to be doing right now. But if you have questions, if you have things to add, go ahead and throw it in the chat. So go ahead and download. Opening this up fresh. Go ahead here. So you don't have to sign in. They don't keep your information. We'll start off here. The first thing we need to do is give ourselves a name. You can do this by choosing one of your favorite emojis. Let's just go with, let's see, do a British Palace Guard. And then they don't actually let you choose your name. Oh, actually, if you hit this button here, I guess it just changes everything. You can choose a random name. Let's do President Sabotage. That feels right. Okay. Down here, we have this nifty, let's try that again. We have this nifty little guy that shows you how many people you've helped with your information. I'll get into that a little bit later. Transit app, one of the things I love about it is the fact that it uses not only schedules, GPS data from buses and trains, but also user data. So when you use the Go feature, you're helping other riders with real-time information, which honestly I trust a lot more than the Transit app. I mean the transit data from the buses, because it goes buses. So one of the things you can do is set up here in Tucson. You might be watching this from somewhere else. This is kind of geared towards Sun Tran and this being the new app, but anyone who uses Transit app, same features here. You can select which lines you would like to see. We got light rail, technically it's a streetcar. Light rail, you got Sun Tran buses, Sun Shuttle, and on-demand service. I kind of saw it pop up, haven't seen it since, but you should be able to book Sun On Demand and Sun Dial a Ride straight through this app as well too. Next thing you want to do is prioritize walking. Typically say if it's about 10 minutes, give me that first. Speed, stroll, I'm a little faster than that, but it helps me make sure that I get there in time. If accessibility is something that is of a concern to you, you can actually turn on features down here where they'll show you accessible options, and then you can actually prioritize them to come in first up here. So that is helpful if you need a little extra help. We did that. 2 wheels. So they have the so Transit app is not just a bus train app. It's really a car free app whether you're taking a bike, a bus, a scooter, it will show you all the options together, and some cost estimates. So you can come in here and ask for, if you want your personal bike, To-Go bike share. If you sign in through To-Go, you can actually rent a bike directly through the app. And then we have Lime and Spin scooters also in the Tucson area. If you go to a different city, if you go to Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, they'll have different options here. They'll have, New York will have City Bike. They might also have Lime and Spin. And then I check, whoops, Bring Your Bike on Transit. I did a trip today that was bike, bus, bike. This app used to be a lot better for it. I'm hoping that they're trying to work out some of the bugs and bring that back. I also prioritize biking all the way. So it'll give that to me as an option first. And then we have four wheels. So even if you're not driving your own car, you have the option of taking a ride with someone else. Uber's the only one in Tucson on here right now. I have seen Lyft when I first started. Lyft has disappeared. It sounds like they aren't sharing information with Transit app, which obviously they can't turn around and share with us then. Saved locations, you have the ability to set home, set work, and then additional locations. So we could do, let's see. There we go. So school. Oh, I think I have to actually drag it. We can deal with that later. But you can set different options. You can have them, if you click down here, they will show up on the main map. So this is the screen you're going to see. This is the main map. I've got my GPS set for City Hall. I'm not actually at City Hall. I just don't want to share with the world where I live, so I'm spoofing that. Down here, if you scroll up, you can enter where you would like to go, or it will show you the closest transit lines you have to your location right now. So we got Sunlink right here. We got the Helen and Warren, and you can see 9 minutes over here, and that's actually a new symbol. Oh, that's the accessibility. I didn't turn that off. So you got 9 minutes going to Helen Warren. If you do a little swipe to the side, it'll show you the other direction, so towards the Mercado. And you can also see over here, you've got that little radio signal. That means that you are getting live information either from the bus or from a rider on the bus. I mentioned that Go feature. I'll show that to you in a minute. But that tells you can trust it a little bit more than just the schedule information. So, and as I mentioned before, if you scroll down here, you have the option to rent a To-Go bike. And the app integrates really well. You sign in, you're able to do everything from there. So if To-Go is actually going to be a better option for you, you can do that instead of walking or taking the bus. And then we've got, let's see here. So the reason we're here is this is the new Sun Tran app, and you can use it in other cities. I've used it in I think Portland. I've used it in Minneapolis. I've used it in Amsterdam. You can use it in hundreds of cities around the world. I think North America, Europe are big places. I have looked in Japan and didn't see too many pop up. So North America and Europe are you're at least covered. So with Sun Tran's partnership, which by the way I should mention at this point too, I'm not with Sun Tran, I'm not with Transit app, I'm just a user of the app and thought I would share my knowledge and we could talk about it a little bit, but I'm not in any official capacity here. But so this is the new Sun Tran app. It is the official app. You'll have to go and download it. and they give you premium. So transit app is free for anybody to use. You get a few more features with premium. It's, I think, about $26 a month. I do pay for it every year. I think it is worth it. Nobody's paying me to say that. Still not with transit app. It is definitely worth it. I think this is a great app, and I like to contribute a little bit to it. But if you're in Tucson or another city where this is the official app, you do not have to do that. You get premium included already. So they show you kind of some of the features down here. And one of the things you can do if you want is you can pick a new app icon. And from your choices, you actually have the Sun Tran logo. So if you want it to be purely Sun Tran for you, you can change that and make that the official. They have a bunch of different ones. They have LA Metro themes, Chicago L, DC Metro, different colors, and then you can also change your accent colors. So you can mess around with that, make it a little bit more your own. So we'll make it Sun Tran official for this. So also, if you click on the line, it'll show you down here. Here's that go function I'll talk about in a minute. You can also see on the map one of the trains and its live location. So, as I mentioned before, these little marks down here, they tell you you're getting live data. It's either going to be data from the bus itself, which the previous app did fairly well most of the time. But the other thing is if you use this go function, it gives you user-generated data. So it looks like we have, if you click on it, we have one user on here who is giving us additional data from their phone. So their phone, it's on go, they're on the train, and it is providing additional information. So if you've ever waited for a bus and the official app says one's coming, bus passes you by on the app but doesn't in real life, you know the pains of a ghost bus, this really cuts down on it, or at least reassures you that somebody's actually on that bus. Another rider's on that bus. They're sharing information. So when I see that, I feel extremely confident that bus is coming. When I see just the GPS information, sometimes that's not as accurate as you would think or would like to be. One of the days after, I think it was Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, I was out dog sitting northwest side of town. Some of the Sun shuttles run. It might have actually been Christmas Day, and the Sun shuttles were not running. The app did say they were running, and they did show shuttles moving along. So you still have the problem with ghost buses. The information from the transit agency is only as good as what they're going to give you, which is not always the best information. So look for people on the bus helping you out. We'll go ahead and sit. I'm not going anywhere, but we'll go ahead and do an example. So you hit go, personal transit companion. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna leave now. And we get a little notification. So it tells you, it's great. It tells you when to leave. If you're walking a little slow to the bus stop, it'll tell you to hurry up because you're not gonna make it. So you will get notifications. Here's just a little more explanation on the crowdsourcing. And I mean, I'll let you go ahead and play with it and take a look. So from City Hall, where it thinks we are, I'm going to show you a path to walk. I'm going to wait there at the station. And if we zoom out, yeah, we should see, here's our train with that one passenger giving us data. It's coming through the 4th Avenue underpass. So I am very confident that that train is where it says it is, and it will be there within that 4-minute window. You can also click the next one if you don't think you're going to make it. This one, it says it's getting live data from the train, but no live data from an actual passenger on board. So I would say it's a little bit less reliable, but to be honest, I'm still fairly confident it's coming. You can also scroll along and see when the next scheduled ones are if you want to plan ahead that way. And then if you just click go without setting a destination, you can choose, I'm gonna go to the Mercado. So it'll tell you how many stops before you need to get off, and it'll tell you about what time you're gonna hit each of those stops and when you're gonna get off. So I'll just go ahead and end that trip. And like I said, if you want to go the other direction, you just do a quick swipe to the side. And then you got the trip planning feature. So that is where you're gonna plan your trips out. I'm gonna say, I'm here. We'll say we're at City Hall. We're gonna go to the Reed Park Zoo. And here you're gonna get all of those different transit options. Like I said, I bike more than I do the bus. So I've selected, I want to see that information first. And it looks like it's almost the fastest. We do have, at this time, the number 7 is also 27 minutes from leaving now to get into Reed Park Zoo. So that's an option. You have some other ones here. You could take the 3 to the 17, and it's a much longer walk. As you can see, that's going to be a walk. That right there is going to be time you spend waiting. So you really want to minimize that. And then another cool feature, especially in Tucson, is it will tell you what the fare is going to be. And since we don't pay transit fares right now, they're going to be free. So you can select that. Also choose different times. So you see, if you miss this next bus, the next one's going to be 41 minutes from now. You can kind of plan for that. And then the go button is up here as well. So when you're ready to go, hit that, share information, get that real time, get those notifications to move faster or get off the bus soon. Down here, like I said, you have all the options, all the car-free options. You have walking, which we're looking at an hour and 26 minutes. I wouldn't advise it. It's probably twice as fast as the slowest bus option right now, maybe later. It's going to make sense. You could also do scooters. So green, I believe, is going to be the Lime scooter. And I'll show you kind of your route too. Same thing with, I'd say Google. I don't necessarily trust it fully. It can give some pretty bad bike routes. A lot of this is going to come with knowing the area. So if you bike a lot already, if you take scooters, if you walk and you kind of know what streets you should and shouldn't be on, treat it the same as Google Maps. And then, like I said, down here, we have, it's going to be an estimated $9. So once again, that's just an estimate, 22 minutes, and then the same thing with Uber down here. So for $1 or $2 more, you can take an Uber. Those aren't always accurate. I've actually taken a lot of Ubers this past month, and I would say it was a lot cheaper than what was showing here because I had a discount code applied for whatever reason. But you can click on here, and it'll give you a little more detail. And then you can actually request. I don't have Uber downloaded on this phone, but you could go straight from Transit app and then book on Uber. Oh, I did mention the Sun on Demand. You should be able to book on here too. And it looks like it's going to take you to a different, probably the Sun on Demand app. So I'll get back in here. So I guess that's kind of an overview of things. If anybody has any questions or comments, oh, down here too. So for the number 8, when you're heading east, you have more than one terminus, and that will show up on the main screen. So you can tell right away Udall Station's 9 minutes, Broadway to Houghton is going to be 39. And then let's see if I can find, it's it's getting to the point where you're going to start seeing last buses. The airport bus is probably going to be one of them. So then you can also click more departures. It will show you future departures for the next couple days as you keep scrolling. So if you just want to see schedule data, you can do that too. You can swipe the other way and get the downtown data as well. So let's see if we have any. Okay, so no questions, comments yet. Another thing that I actually discovered this today. If we go back to the website, this was something I was hoping that they would add. But if you go to their main website, oh, there we go. If you go to their main website under regions, and I just stumbled across this, I haven't seen an official announcement, but under regions, they have phone buried in your pocket, plan a trip on the website instead. So if you click this here, they didn't have this, as far as I knew, a couple days ago, or even weeks ago. You can trip plan from your computer. So we're gonna say Tucson City Hall. We're gonna do, let's do the Reed Park Zoo again. And then we're gonna go ahead and, from what I can tell, it's only gonna give you walking and transit online. It's not going to give you bike, Uber, any of that stuff. But this is kind of a cool little feature if you are on your computer. Yeah, there we go. And it kind of gives you the same information too. Break down this is what the bus is going to say on the screen when it arrives. This is the stop you're going to wait at, the stops in between, the stop you get off, and then it's going to be a 7-minute walk. If there was a connection, actually, I think there was one with a connection back here. So back to, yeah, so we'll do one with a connection here. Okay, so actually on the app, it will tell you it's a 1-minute walk, and then it will tell you, hey, it's then a 4-minute wait or a 10-minute wait or whatever it is. It doesn't appear to do so here, but this is web-based. It's more for planning. You can kind of look at the times and figure out from there. So what else? What else? Let me check again if anybody's got any questions, any comments. Do you like Transit app? Have you used it yet? No, we got a couple people here. Was this helpful at all? Yeah, so you can sign up for Royale. In this case, it's, I think, gonna stop you. You do get was it a 14-day trial? But once again, you don't need to waste that on Tucson. You get the Royale benefits with it being the Sun Tran official app. Okay, another thing that I forgot to go into more detail, this little guy tells you how many people you've helped. When you do use that go feature that I was talking about, so we'll go ahead and we'll do a go. Right here up at the top, once you're actually moving, that's going to change from the little bars to sometimes it's a 0 right away. Other times it's a number. That is the number of people that they're estimating that you're helping with that live data. So when we were looking at that train and seeing it coming down the tracks, we were one person that they were helping. So at the end of it, it will give you kind of a running total like, hey, this trip you helped 23 people. That goes to your running total in this main screen here. So I think on my main one, I'm probably, the actual one that I use on a daily basis, I want to say it's close to 8,000, but it's really picking up in Tucson. It used to be you're helping one or two other people. Lately, it's been, 20, 30 people. When I was in Boston one time, I think I came just shy of helping 1,000 commuters. So the big cities where you have a lot of people using the app, a lot of people sharing the data. I always tell people it is very selfish that I want more people to use Transit app because that means it's better data that I'm receiving. And really, it helps all of us. So get on Transit app, get your friends on Transit app. Like I said, you can use it in Tucson, you can use it in Phoenix. Most US cities, whether they partner with Transit or not. One downside I would say about Tucson is for a brief period of time, I wrote to them, asked them to get the Catran on there. Catran, if you're a U of A student, they do have an app that you can use. They have an app that you can use and see the real-time data. They were able to add the schedule on the Transit app, but not the real-time data. And then when they went with this conversion with Sun Tran, they took it off. It disappeared. So another thing too is, what is it? The two wheels. We're looking at spins. Spins listed on there. Actually, that's something I didn't show you. Spins listed on there, but there are no bikes. Let me switch back over here. Okay, so as you can see, you got the little orange dots, a little more prominent. Those are going to be your to-go stations. The little green dots, you zoom in, those are going to be your scooters. So you can actually get scooter information on there. You can see the battery level, and it looks like if you click unlock with Lime, it'll take you to the Lime app. I believe, oh, I gotta get out of Lime. Okay. I believe it does the same thing too with, yeah, the to-go. So you can click on it. You can see there are 8 bikes and 4 open docks. So it gives you the information right there. Like I said, you can unlock a bike from it. Oh, we have a question. Okay. Can you go over how to get from Marana into Tucson? I think you have to have a schedule or something. So with Marana, that's a little tricky. There are just a few lines. The other thing too is if you can drag your finger as well as enter an address. But yeah, all right. So here's Marana, Continental Ranch, that area. There are some shuttles. Say that's where I am. You can see that's going to be a little bit of a walk to get to the shuttle. The other thing too is you can see that the shuttles have stopped running for the day. So all the times are now saying Thursday. This draw feature is new to me. Actually, I don't stream much at all, so this is all kind of new. But yeah, so the next shuttle is going to be tomorrow morning at 6:42. There are some express buses as well. And then if you go down to the very bottom, you can go to click show inactive lines. So none of the expresses are running right now, but you can see them on the list and kind of look at where they are in relation. This is going to be the closest express when they start running. So you're going to have to get to that stop once again tomorrow. This one runs once a day. So you got a Thursday, you got a Friday, you got a Monday. Don't run on weekends. Another thing you can do, and I'm just thinking of this now, is if you live in Oro Valley or Marana, you don't have great bus service, and you do drive or bike or have another means of transportation, you can always do multimodal. So the city of Tucson and a lot of transit agencies do have park and ride lots. I don't know if they can add that onto the app, but that might actually be great, as if they could do a dot for the park and ride lots. So if you live in Marana, you can drive to one of those lots and catch one of the regular buses or catch an express bus. That way, if you're not near a bus stop, you can still take transit and you don't have to walk 30 minutes to get there. You can also ride your bike, put that on the front rack as well. I will say, I mentioned I was dog sitting kind of up on the northwest side of town. There was a Sun shuttle that ran nearby. There are a couple express buses at Ina and I believe as Thornydale. So I decided this had some sort of holiday. It was after Christmas, I think it was. Um, I decided I had a car. I was going to drive down to the park and ride lot, parked the car there, took the bus to the south side, Laos Center, and then I caught a local bus to my house where I did some stuff during the day. That trip went perfectly well. The lot was in one of the shopping centers. The stop was across the street. The bus showed up. I think express buses tend to be regulars heading into work. They go downtown, they go to the U of A, they go to Raytheon. This bus happened to be a Raytheon bus. It stops at Lao Center. You don't need to show Raytheon ID. I don't know if the buses actually go onto the Raytheon campus, but as long as you're in the public areas, you don't need ID. So I could take it to Lao Center. All of that went perfect. Um, I had a bit of a rant you might have seen on Instagram that day. I took a bus back to Lao Center. The stops aren't actually in Lao Center, they're on Irvington. So the first one dropped me off. It was right by the center, but not in it. When I went to take it back later that night, the stop was across the street. So, you know, day after Christmas, express bus picked me up in the morning, figured everything was fine. I'm sitting there waiting at the stop. I'm checking the transit app. I look and see it's on the schedule. It's showing up. I took an express bus this morning, the same one I'm taking back. So yeah, I figured it's going to be running. Looking at the live data, there's no tracking whatsoever. Nothing from the bus GPS. There's nothing from riders on board. But when I came down, I was the only person on the shuttle, so I expected I'd probably be the only person on it back. It just did not show up. Next one, I think, was like an hour and a half later. At that point, I ended up taking a bus downtown. Um, Made the mistake. I saw, oh, there's another express I can take and get up there. So I got off the local bus, went to wait for the express bus. A few other people were waiting for an express. Once again, no tracking data whatsoever. Bus never showed up. I think maybe two more locals went through the station before I went over and just got one of those. Um, Needless to say, I was not happy about that. So just be aware of that when you take the express. Maybe it's because it's right after Christmas, but I did not find it to be as reliable, and really look for that user generated data. If you see somebody's on the bus, then you know it's coming. Um, Although that I'll be honest can be a little bit flawed too. There have been a couple times where I got off the bus, started riding my bike, and it thought I was still on the bus, and it started reporting that the bus was on detour. So no, nothing's perfect, but I think it is a little more reliable than just that GPS data. So that was kind of my long-winded story about Marana. If you're up in Marana, you can pull that up. You can see what lines are close to you, when they'll be running. Really, though, if you want to take transit, it's still an option. I would check out the park and ride. It's something that Sun Tran, I don't think, really promotes enough. Um, and then my other question too would be my car, or my friend's car that I was borrowing, was completely safe. Like I said, it was in a shopping center. It was along a busy road. Um, I don't know if they do security patrols. I think I've seen them come in and out of some of the lots. But it's an option if you do live in the suburbs. They also have shuttles if you're in Salarita or Green Valley. They go down there. They have shuttles, I believe, up to Oro Valley. So transit is an option even if you don't live in the city. Can always park your car and get around that way. So, got any more questions? Like I said, it used to be a little bit better. It was more of a multimodal thing. It would give you not only an estimated walk times to your bus. What am I doing? Give you the estimated walk times to your bus and from the bus, but it would show estimated bike times to the bus, which aren't showing up right now. So let's see if we're saying we're at City Hall. Okay, so the Sun link. Maybe I got to do trip planning. But yeah, it used to show estimated bike riding times to the bus, but when you got off the bus, it would just show you walking times. So even though I checked that I wanted to take my bus on transit, I can take it on the bus, I can take it on the streetcar, the app didn't quite understand that or know how to process it, and I was wondering what it thought I did with my bike. Probably would not tie it up or lock it up at just a regular bus stop. Not even, I've done it at the transit center a couple times, but I'm hoping that disappeared so that they can tweak that and make that a little bit better as well. Okay, so once again, I hope this was somewhat helpful. I don't have any more questions. I can wait another little bit, but I hope you do download that transit app, help with the data. I'm doing my part. I hope you do your part. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram. You can leave comments on this video later too, and I'll get to them. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. I was kind of worried I was going to be talking to myself. So I'm glad I could help. Let's see, does user data supersede the live? Yes. So it kind of uses the data together. If there is no live GPS, then user data, I believe, is king. That's why, I really focus and trust it more. The few times that I've gotten on my bike and ridden away and it's showed the bus as a detour, I'm not sure how it handles that. I close out as quickly as I can, but yeah, I believe that the user data is going to be above everything. Okay.